Huh?
Bless you.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7 p.m. And be further resolved that Council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty area on the lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations, but we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbors, the community of Bigdigon Nishinabek and Pick Mobert First Nation. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay, here we have. Okay, moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated.
Through the chair, number 2 and 3 on the item, asking if there's any pecuniary interest.
I'm sorry. See, there is no additions or delegations to the agenda, or deletions. Sorry. And are there any pecuniary interests or general nature thereof? Seeing none. Okay.
Resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated. Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay, number 5. There are no, I don't see any delegations or presentations.
Right.
Correct? Okay. Then we will move to the adoption of the minutes of the previous meetings. So moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 11th, 2021 are adopted as circulated.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay, no petitions. Correspondence. We have correspondence from Susan Kuko, North Shore Tourism Coordinator, regarding the Lake Superior North Shore Tourism Project report to committee, dated July 15th. Is that, anyone want to bring that down? Okay.
So we remove her in second or in just the first part? First sentence.
Moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that correspondence item 08-01 be received and filed.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay. Reports and committees. Don't see nothing there. Okay, next is a verbal update by the acting mayor. Okay, so the Association of Municipalities of Ontario held their annual conference August 15th to the 18th, 2021. This was a virtual event, and attending from the township were Mayor McEachran, Florence McLean, and myself. There were many ministers in attendance, great speakers scheduled over the 3 days, and lots of information shared throughout the province. The township was fortunate enough to participate in 2 delegations. The Ministry of Heritage, Sport, Tourism and Culture Industries to discuss the Manitouwadge Historical and Archival Society, We met with MPP Sheriff Sabawi, parliamentary assistant to the minister, to lobby for the society to receive museum status and the associated tax exemption that would be associated with that. MPP Sabawi advised that there is a process to follow through the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and would send us information on how to make this application. Once we receive this information, we will meet the Historical Society to move this process forward. So this will hopefully resolve a lot of past issues. The next meeting we had was with the Ministry of Energy, the North Shore Natural Gas Project. We met with the Honourable Todd Smith, Minister of Energy. Also attending were Mayor Dumas and CAO Darren Krasinski of the town of Marathon. We asked for this joint delegation to discuss our failed application to the natural gas grant program. Minister Smith advised that no further funding will be made available in the near future. He advised that our application scored very high in the profitability index and suggested we make an application to the NOHFC and FEDNOR to fund the project. The 5 North Shore communities will meet to discuss this option further. And that is my report. Next, report from the CAO.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair. A number of items for you tonight. First off, September 11th will be the 20-year commemoration of the 911 attacks in New York City. And in honor of that, our fire department will be putting on an event starting at 12 noon. That's on a Saturday. And that's open to the public. Also, council is invited, and the mayor has confirmed he's able to attend. So everyone is welcome and can park in the municipal parking lot and make their way to the front of the fire hall to participate in that. We have a number of events happening at the golf course over the next month. The golf course will close at the end of the month, but before that, we have a 4-person golf scramble on September 18th. We have 11 teams registered already. The clubhouse will close for in-person dining starting on September 22nd, but will remain open for takeout. And this is a reflection of the requirement by the province to do vaccine screening and confirmation of vaccine. So we don't have the capacity to be able to do that at the clubhouse. This month is also a federal election, and we have early polling starting this Friday, September 10th, to Monday, September 13th at the Recreation Center. And then the actual election day is on September 20th. And everyone is encouraged to get out to vote. We have good news about our community improvement plan. As you remember, at the last meeting, we presented it to council and did a 20-day appeal period. We received no appeals from the public, so that has now been approved and can be implemented. And again, that plan will allow council to offer incentives to private business and property owners to participate with us in our community revitalization efforts. I'd like to thank the summer students that we hired this year. They've finished their work now and back at school, but they did a great job in keeping our green spaces tidy and looking very nice, both at Public Works and the golf course. And last of all, we have a common registration night at the Community Center on September 14th from 6 to 8, where members of the public can come out and find out all the great happenings that will be taking place over the fall and winter, and to register for that. And that's my update.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we will move on to business. Invitation from Claudette Gleason, President of Association des Francophones du Nord-Ouest de l'Ontario, regarding raising of the Franco-Ontarian flag in Manitouwadge and proclamation for Franco-Ontarian Day. Okay, so I'll read this. Whereas on May 18th, 2010, the Legislative Assembly of Ontario enacted the Franco-Ontarians' Day Act 2010, proclaiming September 25th in each year as Franco-Ontarian Day. Whereas Franco-Ontarian Day Act recognizes that Franco-Ontarians commemorate September 25th to celebrate their language and heritage and anniversary of the first unveiling of Franco-Ontarian flag in Sudbury in 1975. The Franco-Ontarian Emblem Act 2001 recognizes the flag as the emblem of the Francophone community of Ontario. Whereas by proclaiming September 25th as Franco-Ontarian Day, this act officially recognizes the contribution of the Francophone community of Ontario to the social, economic, and political life of the province and the community's importance in Ontario society. Whereas French is one of the two official languages of Canada, French language has been spoken in Ontario since the 17th century, and September 25th, 2021 marks the 20th year anniversary since the Ontario government recognizes the Franco-Ontario flag as the official symbol of Francophone in Ontario. I, Acting Mayor Jim Moffat of the Township of Manitowoc, do hereby proclaim September 25th of this year and future years as Franco-Ontarian Day in the Township of Manitowoc.
Through the chair, could you name the mover and seconder, and then I will...
Sorry. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay. Second is Administrative Report, PW 2021-06, submitted by Darren Mckenzie, Public Works Superintendent, regarding the 2020 Landfill Monitoring Report, dated September 8, 2021.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. This report is an annual report, which I'm sure that you saw last year as well. It basically gives an update of what's happening at the landfill site, where the surface and groundwater, ground contamination from all landfill sites travel. This is showing that the leachate is staying within the boundaries of our property. It has not made its way to any streams, and it's still within acceptable limits. It's also showing that we have approximately 26 years left within the landfill at the present volumes. That's from this date as opposed to the last report, so it is 26 years still remaining. And it is being submitted to the MECP annually.
Okay, are there any questions? No, so all in all, the landfill site is on the right track. Is that what this is saying?
It is saying that through you, Chair, that any sort of leachate from it is staying within the boundaries, so that is a good thing. We will need to do some improvements, look at ways to increase the longevity of the landfill site. Those means through like recycling and things like that, to help reduce what's actually making its way into the landfill.
Okay.
But overall, for the short term, yes, everything is good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. So moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that Council is in receipt of the Administrative Report PW 2021-06, submitted by Darren Mckenzie, Public Works Superintendent, regarding the 2020 Landfill Monitoring Report, and be it further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration, that report number PW 2021-06, RE 2020 Landfill Monitoring Report prepared by Ontario Clean Water Agency, OCWA, be received, and further that Council accept and attach 2020 Landfill Monitoring Report as prepared, and further that Council be advised that the attached 2020 Landfill Monitoring Report be submitted to the MECP for purpose of meeting the township's requirement for our ECA.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Excuse me, yes. Okay, next is Administrative Report PW 2021-07, also submitted by Darren Mckenzie, Public Works Superintendent, regarding the Ski Hill Chalet Structural Assessment dated September 8th, 2021.
Thank you, Chair. During routine inspection of the chalet, we came across some concerns with the actual structure itself. It was not foreseen to be budgeted for this year. So after having been to the site with our CBO, Owen Cranny, determination was made to bring in a structural engineer to ensure that what the status is and how to proceed forward. This can be paid for through the, I'm sorry about that, because I don't know the term of it right hand, through the infrastructure reserve account. And we do have a quote so far up to $10,300 to complete this work from TBT Engineering and Thunder Bay.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administrative Report PW 2021-07, submitted by Darren Mckenzie, Public Works Superintendent, regarding the Ski Hill Chalet Structure Assessment, and be it further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration, that Council approved for staff to engage with TBT Engineering to provide a structural engineering assessment for the ski chalet, and further that Council authorized the use of the infrastructure reserve account to fund the structural engineering assessment at a cost of $10,300 plus HST.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Administrative Report TR 2021-11, submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding opt-out of vacant unit rebates dated September 8th, 2021.
Thank you. Through the Chair, in front of you is a administration report with the option or request to opt out of vacant unit rebates. Administration has seen an increase in interested parties willing to purchase or lease space in the downtown core, and feels that the elimination of the vacant unit rebate will assist in motivating property owners to utilize their properties to their full potential. There's been a lot of movement around the elimination or adjustments of vacant unit rebates for a number of years. In 2020, the province's 2020 budget bill, adjustments were made to the Municipal Act to allow municipalities to change, update, tailor, or eliminate at their own discretion. This falls in to our strategic plan, where strategic directions are developing the local economy, investing readiness, and downtown revitalization. And with the potential investment opportunities, not offering a vacant rebate of 30 to 35% for vacant units, we will be able to collect property taxes on these units or properties at 100%. So administration is recommending that we opt out of the vacancy rebate unit program, and that we notify each of the current vacant unit applicants of the new change.
Okay, any questions?
Yes, through the Chair. So these are properties that are these are vacant portions of someone else's property?
Commercial and industrial only.
Okay. So what you're trying to do is, are you severing the lots, or are you just...
No, there's no
just
severing
getting
of the
rid of
lots.
them?
No.
Okay.
So what happens is, through the Municipal Act, if there's any part or whole of the property that is unutilized for its intended purpose, that there is a rebate available based on square footage. There's a formula. It's an application through the municipality and through MPAC. And based on determination, they will get a rebate for any unused portion that is determined to be vacant for a period of time.
Okay. So you want to change this, and as you said, the Municipal Act changed so you can do that sort of thing now. Is that correct?
Yes, it used to have to go, the municipality would apply to the Minister of Finance to have this approved. The changes in the 2020 budget bill allow the municipalities to act on their own behalf to eliminate these rebates. They can reduce, tailor, modify, or completely eliminate.
So if the owner of the property, like you go to them and say, okay, this is what we're doing, if they come back and say, well, then I don't want that portion of my property anymore, can they have it severed?
No, it's all within the original structure.
Okay,
Yes, it's not a vacant land.
Sorry, just wanted clarification there.
Yes, it's not a severance. It's the initial structure, it's the initial facility.
Okay. All right, thank you for the clarification.
No problem. Thank you, Councillor.
Through the chair, can you give us an example of what you may do with this, or what someone could do with this?
In which capacity, Councillor?
So, by changing this, what would it benefit?
Well, for the municipality, we would be able to collect the full 100% property taxation that we should be collecting without rebating. What we've seen, administration has seen in the past, a lot of corporate, say, businesses have had their rents so high or their lease amounts so high that they were undesirable to a local resident. Therefore, they would remain vacant and they receive a rebate because their facility has not been fully attained.
So, through the chair, you hope, or we hope to use more of that land?
It's all buildings. It's all actual buildings. It's facilities. I can't give you any examples without identifying a specific property, but we want to, falling within our strategic plan, we have downtown cores that have been vacant and been vacant for years, and we want them utilized. So we're hoping with discouraging or eliminating the rebate, it would provide the incentive to use these facilities to their fullest potential.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report TR 2021-11 submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding opt-out of vacant unit rebates, and be further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration that Council direct staff to opt out of the vacant unit rebate program, and further that Council direct staff to notify affected property owners of the upcoming change.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay. Excuse me. Next is Administration Report TR 2021-12 submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding vesting property into municipal ownership after a failed tax sale dated September 8th, 2021.
Thank you. Through the chair, July 14th, we hosted another tax sale. We had 4 properties advertised. 2 were successful sales, 2 were unsuccessful. At this point, administration is recommending that the municipality vest 2 properties, 15 Manitou Road West and 10 Ashweekid Road, in the municipality's name. Therefore, we can gain access to the property and determine whether they need to be demolished, or we can schedule them on the real estate market.
Okay, any questions? No? Okay. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report TR 2021-12 submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding vesting property into municipal ownership after a failed tax sale, and be it further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration that Council direct staff to vest 15 Manitou Road West and 10 Ohsweken Road into the township's name, and further that Council direct staff to determine whether 15 Manitou West and 10 Ohsweken Road require demolition or are eligible to be placed on the real estate market, and further that Council direct staff to come back to Council with a recommendation on how to proceed with 15 Manitou Road West and 10 Ohsweken Road.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay, you're still up. Administrative report, TR 2021-13, submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding Q2 budget variance report dated September 8th, 2021.
So I have provided you with the second quarter budget variance report, January 1st to June 30th, 2021. As per our strategic plan training, it was advised to provide quarterly budget variance reports to council. We didn't get to do it the first quarter, so here's 2 quarters for your review. Please see attached, and if you have any further questions, please feel free.
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that council is in receipt of administrative report TR 2021-13 submitted by Chris Towns, Treasurer, regarding the Q2 budget variance report, and be further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, that council accept the Q2 budget variance report as presented.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay, next is administrative report, admin 2021-36, submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding personal policies dated September 8th, 2021.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, 3 new policies to be added to our personnel binder this council meeting. And the first one is the salary classification schedule, which outlines the hiring practices with up-to-date current wage classifications, and which allows the public and staff to see a fair and open, transparent process in how we provide financial incentives and financial compensation to all staff. The second policy is the incremental adjustment policy, which outlines how staff can move through the classification schedule through positive performance reviews, and they'll know what the next step is to work towards. And then the third personnel policy is the staff identification cards. And so at the management team, we talked about who should have staff identification cards, and at the end of the day, it was determined that all staff working for the municipality should have them, not just staff who have to go to homes of the residents, but all staff should be able to identify themselves as a municipal employee. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. Otherwise, we'd be happy for you to receive this report and pass these policies.
Any questions?
Through the chair, your identification would be like a badge identification style, or would it be like a name tag? Or?
It would be a card style. So if there were, say, public works staff going to a resident's home, that they could identify themselves using the card as a municipal employee. And the cards would be signed by the clerk, who is a commissioner for oaths and affidavits. And it would also be able to be used at conferences, proof of identification, also if we had to use it at a hotel and checking in.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does that, saying all staff, does that include council?
It can certainly include council, yes. It wouldn't be in the personnel policy, but we could certainly have that made available to council.
It would be nice if we ever actually get to conferences again in person.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I myself see it as a good thing, even for discounts at hotels or whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a perk.
So, okay. No other questions? Okay, thank you. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello. Resolved that council is in receipt of administrative report admin 2021-36, submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding personnel policies, And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of council's review and consideration, that council approve personnel policy 2021-04, the salary classification schedule policy, and further that council approved personnel policy 2021-05, the incremental adjustment policy, and further that council approves personnel policy 2021-30, the identification cards policy.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay. Next is bylaws, being a bylaw to opt out of the vacancy unit rebate program under Section 364 of the Municipal Act 2001. Okay. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Scapanello, being a bylaw to opt out of vacant unit rebate program under Section 364 of the Municipal Act 2001, being read a first and a second time. And furthermore, be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2021-33.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes. Okay. There's no motions or notice of motions. So next is closed session, Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition of disposition of land by municipality or local board, land disposition. Number 2 is Section 239-2B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal and local board employees, personnel matters. Okay, moved by Councillor Scapanello, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Whereas Section 239-4 of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001 C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following sections. Number 1, Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition. And number 2 is Section 239-2B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, personnel matters.
Councillor Arola?
Yes.
Councillor Hudson?
Yes.
Councillor Scapanello?
Yes.
Acting Mayor Moffat?
Yes.